What's good, grind schoolers? It's your boy Robin. We back in the shop today. So today what we got going down is, man, we are going to basically complete everything that I didn't complete last time, I guess I should say, with the whole interior and stuff. I'm not gonna go over that. I'll just show y'all once I'm done what it looks like with the seats and everything in there. But what we're gonna do is we are going to we're gonna hook up the Dakota digital indicator for the indicator light for the what am I trying to say, the gear selector. So I did order a actual gear selector gauge, but I was reading through the instructions on the actual like brain for the gear selector thing, and it looks like I can hook it up to the VHX Dakota digital dash. So I'm gonna just go that route and return the gear selector, because I wasn't enthused about cutting a hole in that that little plate that goes around the shifter. I mean, it's already kind of messed up and it needs to be replaced, but I didn't want to cut a hole in it and mess it up even more. It would have been okay because I would have just put the gear selector in there, but I mean, I think this thing was like $70. And if the Dakota comes with one, it's probably just better to just, you know what I'm saying, go ahead and wire that up together instead of having a separate indicator light. And then I also was kind of thinking about saving it for one of the other cars, but the color that I got doesn't match the Elko or the Impala. So I'm gonna go ahead and just send it on back. And then I don't know if I'll get to the rearview mirror today. I was supposed to finish it last time, like I told you guys, but you know what I'm saying, like I said, it took me forever to try to get the interior in the car, and obviously you guys saw that it was still incomplete. So I'm gonna do the best that I can to get all this stuff done. I also will probably change the oil as well. So I mean, you know, like the car's already up in the air. All I gotta do is put the speedometer stuff on there, and also do the little gear selector thing, hook it up to the transmission and all that kind of good stuff. So hopefully, crossing my fingers, it doesn't take that long. And shout out to my boy Mike. He actually told me what's going on with the oil. I was ready to just jump out the window and go ahead and hook up this electric fuel pump and do the lines and all that kind of stuff, which in theory it would have been cool because it needs to be done anyway. But with the regulator, I would have wasted money on a regulator, because I would have had to get a carbureted regulator, which is like 60-70 bucks for the Holley regulator that I want to go with. And then it would have just been pointless when we swapped to LS, because I would have had to get an LS or a fuel injected regulator. So anyways, man, we don't have to jump out the window just yet to do all that. And then also too, I saw a way to hook up the fuel pump with the existing fuel line that I already have, so I don't have to spend a couple $100s on fuel line and then another couple $100s on fuel filters and regulator and all that kind of good stuff. I ain't got to do all that. I can just hook up everything that's existing on this motor. Like I said before, I don't want to spend a whole lot of money on this motor because it's coming out. It's going to come out eventually. I don't know when, but it will come out fairly soon after, you know what I'm saying, we get everything all buttoned up and this car is ready for the road. But anyways, man, before we get started, go ahead and hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell notification so you get a notification every single time I drop another video. And yeah, let's go ahead and get into it. All right, y'all, like I said, the car is already up in the air. I don't have the interior in. Like I said, I'll just do that, and I'll show y'all what it looks like once I'm done. This is the brain for the Dakota digital. So you see it has park, reverse, neutral, you know what I'm saying, overdrive, drive, whatever. And so I was gonna hook it up to the gear selector thing. However, you know what I'm saying, it really doesn't make any sense when the Dakota has that functionality. And also too, I only have to hook up 4 wires. No, not 4, 5 wires instead of, you know, all of the wires for the indicator. So I have to hook up ignition and ground. And then I also have to hook up the red, green, and black And then the one wire I have to hook up to the brain for the Dakota, which is up under there. And we should be done, you know what I mean? It's not really that big of a deal. And pretty much what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in through where the existing hole is, where the shift cable comes through. And I'm gonna put the wire for the speedo cable and the gear selector cables. I'm gonna put it through the hole that's already existing in there. And then also too, what am I trying to say? I didn't hook up the speedo cable, obviously, because I haven't been under the car yet, which I'm gonna do right now. So we're gonna do all of that all at once. And then I don't know if I'll get it wired up today, but I'm gonna try, you know what I mean? The car's already up in the air, and you know, we're just knocking stuff out. And then, like I said, shout out to my boy Mike, because he noted that I'm missing a bolt. I don't know if you guys can see right there where my finger is, the top hole on the front of the block where all that oil was leaking from. I guess there's a bolt that has to go up in there for the fuel pump rod or whatever. So I'm gonna go ahead and break out one of my freeze plugs. I got some freeze plugs. So I'm gonna break out some freeze plugs, put some gasket tape on it, and then I'm gonna go ahead and block that port off. And then also to the existing fuel line that I already have like a steel braided fuel line. I'm gonna go ahead and get probably an adapter piece to this fuel pump and then hook it up here, and we should be good to go, man. The reason why I don't like this fuel line setup, like I said in my last videos, it's riding right up against this lower coolant hose. And so, you know what I'm saying, that's not ideal, obviously, because it's heating up the fuel and you don't want that. So I could take out this whole situation and go ahead and get my steel braided fuel line, get the adapter piece, and go ahead and hook that up, which was what I was trying to do in the first place. But for whatever reason, it just was not working. So like I said, I was ready to jump out the window and go ahead and hook up that Holley fuel pump that I have, which it will get hooked up. However, it's not going to get hooked up for this motor, because I would have to get you know what I'm saying, the whole carburetor regulator and all that kind of stuff, and I ain't trying to do all that. So I'm gonna go as far as I possibly can today. I don't know how far I'll get. I'll probably only be able to get the wires up and through the floor. I might get the speedo cable in, but that's probably as far as I'm gonna get. I probably won't take the bolts out for the transmission and do all that good stuff just yet. And then probably tomorrow I'll pop out here and try to do the rest. Do the oil change, block off that port, clean up all that stuff. I'll probably pull the car out tomorrow, wash it down up in there, get all that stuff cleaned up, and then get the adapter piece so I can get that fuel line stuff done. And then after that, man, all we have to do for this car is really change the brake master cylinder, and go in and change the gasket in the rear end, and we're set, y'all. This should be good to go, and then we could jump straight to body work. We do have to address the suspension, like I said, but that's not going to get done right now. It'll get done when it gets done. But for the most part, I mean, you know, there's not too much left that needs to happen. So getting real excited about this, y'all. I'm getting really excited because we're getting so close to actually having this car ready to actually be on the road comfortably. There's probably still some, you know, things that need to be taken care of, but for the most part, y'all, like, you know, I pretty much did my thing on this. But I'm gonna go ahead and start getting up under here, getting this existing speedo cable out of here, start cutting the zip ties that are holding it in, and then I'll push the wires up in through there. And then, yeah, man, I'm gonna go ahead and call it quits today because it's already been a long day and I want to go inside and chill. So yeah. All right, y'all, this is my first time up under the car. I've never been up under this car before. So pretty much what we're gonna do, oh wow, I didn't even see that. that's gonna have to be addressed. They got just like a coat hanger or whatever holding up the exhaust. So we'll have to address that because that's a no-go, you know what I mean? But anyways, like I said, this is my first time being up under the car. Shout out to Dash because he pretty much fixed this whole speedometer cable thing for me. It was leaking really bad and I think I could see why. So I don't know if you guys can see, but if it'll focus, I don't know if it'll focus. It looks like this has been bent a little bit. So probably when they were trying to put it on, it was like they couldn't like grip it, or that when they did grip it, they gripped it too tight or something like that and bent it. But yeah, you can see like right here, it's been down a little bit. So he just zip tied this one up, and he had a existing speedo cable right there that he went ahead and put in there for me so that it would stop leaking. But we're gonna take all that out. We're gonna take both of these out and go ahead and hook up the one that comes with the Dakota. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that right now and take these two out, and then we'll go from there. All right, y'all, so this is the new sender. So much better quality, man. Rather than these ones that you screw in by hand and it's a nightmare to try to tighten down, which probably happened here. Trying to tighten it down, squeezing it with these pliers to try to get it to stop leaking is very, very difficult, you know what I'm saying? But this one has a nut on the end of it so that you can get a good little box wrench, or you know what I'm saying, something like that on there in order to torque it down good so that it doesn't leak. So I got it all out. I'm gonna go ahead and put this one in, and then I'll use the plug here, and then I'll wire or send this back up through the firewall or through the transmission tunnel. And yeah, then after that we could go ahead and start putting everything together. Oh yeah, I gotta put the gear selector thing on there too. So let me go ahead and put this in first, and I'll go ahead and wire or send all these wires through the transmission tunnel, and then I'll probably worry about that gear selector thing tomorrow when I figure out exactly where it needs to be hooked up at. All right, y'all, I'm about to drop the car back down. I got the gear selector thing in there. You can see that rod there, and then the brain is right there, that little silver thing. I also got the speedo cable in there, and it's going up through where the transmission, the gear selector or the gear shift cable is, this red piece. I had to cut this rod for the gear selector, and I also had to modify the bracket quite a bit. So I had to drill a hole through the center because those two bolts weren't gonna work with the transmission. It wasn't lining up. And I also cut like a little bit more off. You can see that little L shape in order to make it work. So it wasn't necessarily plug and play, but we got it in there, and now we could try to we could try to start coding it, or not coding it, what am I trying to say? Programming it. There you go. I also drained the oil out. You can see the oil pan. It looks to be pretty good. There's no like oil shavings or nothing in there that I could see. It's pretty black, but you know, we got some new oil in there, or we about to put some new oil in there. We already drained all that stuff out. I'm gonna try again to make this thing work. We're about to see. There shouldn't be any gas in the gas line because it's been drained out for a couple of days now, so I'm hoping there's nothing in there and we can make this one work, because if I can make this one work, it'll help me out tremendously. So I'm gonna go ahead and drop the car on down, and then fill the car up with oil. Now these valve covers don't have, unfortunately, they don't have a filler neck, or you know what I'm saying, doesn't have the cap so I can fill it up. So I think I'm gonna just take the this out, put the little thing, dipstick tube thing in there, or the filler tube in there, and pour the oil in through there. So let me go ahead and get the car back on ground level, and then we'll fill it up with oil. We'll start messing around with this fuel line, and then I'll go in and plug that top port right there that had all that oil coming out. And then after that, I'll go into the car and I will hook up the rest of this Dakota digital. The reason why I want to keep on the outside of the car and I don't want to go in the car is because my hands are filthy right now working with this oil, and I don't want to get anything inside the car dirty because I just cleaned it up. So yeah, man, let me go ahead and keep working, and I'll show y'all what it looks like once we go a little bit further. All right, y'all, we finally got everything together, looking real nice. Like I said, the dark gray is not looks all right with the whole gray situation up in here, man. We're definitely still gonna do the seats over. This one's cracked right here and it got the little whatever. I'm just not there right now. I'm gonna order some new seat covers. Obviously these seat belts will get ordered up, and we'll switch those over. Got the third brake light in there. It's not screwed down because I gotta find the screws. Don't know what happened to them. I gotta do some other things up in here, man. And we did get the gear selector all wired up. We got the speedo cable all wired up as well. The gear selector thing is up under here. Oh, you can't even see it. Never mind. It's up under there, tucked away nice and discreet. I didn't want to put it up there because I didn't want to clutter that area up too much, because that's where the brain is for the Dakota gauges. And yeah, man, I mean, as far as all the wiring and everything is you know, concerned, it's pretty much all there, man. It's all together. The only ones that I got to do are for the stereo. We'll probably get to all of that next after I button up the dashboard. I'm going to go ahead and start fiberglassing the dashboard. I already got the fleece and everything. I got everything that I need to do it. I just got to get to it, man. I'm probably not going to throw that on camera just because I already have a video out on doing the dashboard on that car. I never completed it, but you know what I'm saying? You get the picture. Plus, this is very time consuming, and I just want to get it done, man. I want to get it done so I can get it back in the car so that I can go ahead and finalize everything with the whole stereo situation and get all of this wrapped up looking real nice and clean, and so I could put my Dakotas in. I wanted to test out the gear selector, but I forgot that I don't have, or I disconnected the fuel line. I'm currently waiting on the adapters to go to the steel braided fuel line. I'm running with this instead of, you know, what I was thinking, or instead of the rubber line, because how the rubber line was attached, you guys saw it was up against this radiator hose, and that's just not how we rock. That's not how we can rock, I guess I should say. But yeah, man, this car is coming together, man. We're real close to really getting it, you know, all the way buttoned up. And you can see right here, I ended up actually starting the car, and fuel just went everywhere. I turned it on and turned it off like right away though. So it wasn't like that big of a deal. So I got a little bit of cleanup to do. I'm gonna pull the car out and wash all that stuff down by where the fuel pump is anyway, so we're good there. I tried to put these plugs in where that fuel pump rod hole goes, but they don't work. They're just a tad too big, so I have to go to the auto parts store and get that. But yeah, man, other than that, man, everything is all solid. I got everything put together like it needs to be, and you know, we're just getting one step closer and closer, man. Like I said, I'll probably rock like this for a little while. I mean, it's not that big of a deal. You're not really going to be able to tell the difference. Like if you look up in here, it just looks like, you know, purple and gray interior, plus the dash is going to be charcoal gray. It kind of matches the center console and everything. So, you know, it's not too bad. I guess if you look back here, you could tell that this is lighter than that and it looks a lot different. I'm gonna have to push this down a little bit more, but yeah, man, like I said, it doesn't look too bad. But I definitely want to go all stock interior. I might replace this too, because that looks terrible, and it's like, I think like 20 bucks for that little piece there, and that's all faded, so I might replace that too. But other than that, man, whew, we getting it together, y'all. Yeah, I don't really know what else to say, man. I mean, I'm starting to get a little bit more happy, because, you know, I've done a lot of work to this car since it's been home, and, you know, we're starting to see some daylight. So next we're gonna have to get to the body work, and then after that, man, you know, she's gonna be rolling. So yeah, man, I'm gonna go ahead and call it a day, because I'm kind of tired, man. I've been out here, you know, thugging it out on this car. So we getting there, y'all. We getting there. All right, y'all, man, that's gonna do it for this video, man. I hope y'all enjoyed. I'm starting to get real excited, y'all, because we are almost done with the Monte Carlo. I just have to wire up the stereo system. I have to change the brake master cylinder and drain the brake fluid, or bleed the brakes, I guess. And what else do I gotta do? Oh, wrap the dashboard. Once I'm done with the dashboard, I could put that in, and I can wrap up all the rest of the wires and go ahead and wire up the stereo. So all the wires that's in the middle right there, you won't see those. Everything will be nice and clean up under there, and we'll be good to go, y'all. And then, you know, I plan to drive this car a lot, because I want to sort out all the kinks before she gets the car in her possession. Obviously, we're going to sort out the kinks on the 350, and then later on down the road, it will be LS, so it should be a lot more reliable. But for now, this motor is good. Like I said, I drained the oil. There was no oil or metal shavings in the oil, so that's a good sign. Also, the car starts right up, fires right up. I figured out, obviously, what the oil leak, or where the oil leak was coming from, so we're good there as well. Shout out to my homie Mike for that one, because he pointed that out for me. And then also too, yeah, man, like I said, I'm getting excited because now I can get back to my cars. I can get back to the Elco, button up all the little things on the Elco that need to be done, and then she'll be ready to go too, man. I'm not gonna worry too much about doing like extensive work like the rear end. I want the rear end to be done, but I also don't want this car to be out of commission at any point. I want to be able to do the little things that need to be done and get this car out on the road. Also, the Impala, I ordered up, or I showed you guys I got the fuel pump and stuff for the Impala, so that's good to go. We're ready to go there. I just got to get the exhaust, so I got to order up the mufflers for that. And then once I do that, man, I could, you know, do the alignment, do the fuel pump. It looks like it's leaking a lot of stuff, so I don't know, man. I mean, just sitting there, like I told you guys before, these cars are not meant to sit, and when they sit, they start to leak, and just a whole lot of stuff, man, that shouldn't be. But we're getting closer and closer, man, and I've just been out here every single day, thugging it out, doing what I gotta do to make sure that we ready for the summer, whichever direction we decide to go, man. And if the Elco is out of commission, instead of having the Elco sit in the garage with the wheels on it, I might decide to put the wheels on the Monte Carlo, just for the time being. I'm kind of reluctant to do that just because I don't need the wife messing up the wheels for the Elco. I'd rather get her wheels, but obviously I went with the stocks for a reason for now. And, you know, like I said, if I'm pulling up to some car shows or something like that, I'd rather have the rims on the car until I get a set for her car. But we got a long ways until we get there, because I wanted to focus on getting the motor built, getting the transmission and the body work and everything else that needs to be done for this car, instead of having it sit here looking nice on some nice 24s and, you know, Forgiatos or whatever. I'd rather take care of some other stuff and make sure that the car is good, reliable, and it's running right before we start doing all that. But, you know what I'm saying, since I already got the ones on the Elco, if the Elco at any point is out of commission this year, I'll go ahead and throw them on the money for a little bit. So anyways, man, I hope y'all enjoyed the video. Like I said, you know, I don't know if y'all can hear the excitement in my voice, but I'm getting excited because we are getting closer and closer. You know what I'm saying? And the closer I get, the better it is, man. So anyways, go ahead, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell notification so you get a notification every single time I drop another video. And always remember, work hard so you can live free.